Welcome and hello, hello and welcome, welcome and hello, hello and welcome, welcome and hello. Thank you for joining me on a very festive post-holiday Monday edition of Un Poco Mas. And let me just say, gobble gobble. Welcome and hello, hello and welcome and hello. Thank you for joining me, guys. The market is really sort of a mixed bag. Some of the names are holding up quite well. Some names are actually green. Some sectors are actually green. And then, NASDAQ just off like, 70 points or 0.3%. Dow's like 0.6 and S&P is again 0.4. The Russell getting hit a little harder at 1%. That's indicative of the fact that, the mid caps and especially the small caps and God forbid the penny stock holders such as myself, the complete idiots, the just the tiny wing shine box all stars, I don't know what to call us, but anyway, I keep swinging for the fences and keep striking out spectacularly, just pulling my head out. It's horrible, but anyway, guys, that's what it is. But crypto is absolutely getting massacred right now. You might ask yourself, you know, what's wrong with crypto? Is crypto all of a sudden worthless? No, but that's not really the issue. The issue is the type of individual that is super heavy into these really, really risk on assets like crypto that are, how do you put a proper valuation on cryptocurrency? I mean, there really are no multiples. There really is, no growth story per se, other than the price action and the minting of the coins. And they can come back with these, oh, we're coming out with a new version and it's going to eventually power, all these transactions and stuff. But a lot of that is really, speculative, and some would say pie in the sky. And a lot of people think a lot of these crypto coins aren't going to eventually do anything. And it's just a big fugazi, a big fugazi, you know, a big shell game. And it's, there's, Bitcoin due to scarcity and due to certain like use cases. And then people arguing, oh, XRP is going to be the future of this. And, Ethereum getting hit, super hard today. I think down about 10%. Bitcoin was off about 7%, now down about 6%. So I think just today, $600 million more in margin calls or liquidations, whatever they call it, forced liquidations in cryptocurrency. So there was, I think, billions the last couple of weeks. And the problem is, I think a lot of the people that are retail wise that are heavily weighted into crypto, they just don't have a plan B when the bull market stops. When the music stops, when the champagne and cocaine stop flowing, and we hit a bear market where you should be sitting in cash, and you should be sitting in some bonds and savings, and you should be sitting in some defensive stocks, and you should be sitting in, mega caps, and you should be sitting in some dividend payers or whatever your plan might be. A lot of these guys just have no plan. It's like go fast, turn left, buy another Lamborghini. But the problem is, if you're living on margin and you're living on debt and the price of your asset just got cut down by 40, 50%, the underlying, as it were, you're done. Okay, you just got burned to the ground many times over. If you understand how leverage works, a lot of these hucksters don't have any money. It's all smoke and mirrors. All these U-turners who are, on now the bigger guys who make a ton of money on YouTube and through their courses and their Patreons and their, contracts with Bowflex. I mean, these types of people are swimming in money, but it's not necessarily because they're brilliant, stock traders or stock pickers, or it's because a bunch of people online give them $20 because they got a tiny wing and low self-esteem. They're like, oh, well, buy stock Moses, buy Shiba Inu, So it seems really good when it's all going up, because Bitcoin is just at this, it's not like it crashed to like levels like years and years ago. I mean, it was just was just at the same level before a pump. It was consolidating here like last April, and everybody's, you know, crapping their chonies because it went up to one. It's like, hey, it retraced to where it was like middle of this year. I mean, this is live by the sword, die by the sword. Live hard, die fast, whatever. Live James Dean type of situation. Live hard, die young. I don't know what it is. But anyway, guys, so just trying to make sense of why this is happening. A lot of market uncertainty. People are now pricing in, you know, they think we're going to get that rate cut here. I guess it's December 9 and 10. Unemployment looks very questionable. People wonder whether we can even trust that data, but people see the real economy, particularly at the low end, kind of falling apart. I think that's hitting a lot of the, you know, fintech high flyers. Might be a reason Palantir's holding up today and Robinhood's getting hammered pretty good. And, you know, SoFi is coming back because I think SoFi far more diversified, far more built to weather a storm. I've said this many, many times for many, many years. I'd rather invest in SoFi's savers than Robinhood's traders. And it's exactly for times like these when, you know, cryptocurrency crashes and people just don't have a proper plan in place for this eventuality, because that's just not the mindset of a gambler, of a tiny wing guy who needs a Lamborghini to validate, you know, his girlfriend's breast implants or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, what do you guys think? Does any of this make any sense? Hey, it's on the East Coast, Emilio, it's Hardee's. Okay, I don't know why. And Best Foods Mayo is Hellman's. Fuck, we can't even like understand. He's like, well, I don't know if these rubes out here on the West Coast can understand Hellman's or Hardee's. Everything we eat back east begins with an H. It's all white. I don't know why the East Coast guy has some kind of slack-jawed accent. Reminiscent of my good friend Billy Jack. Anyway, guys, I have no idea what I'm talking about. How was your Thanksgiving? I had a pretty good one. Nothing, you know, epic or anything. Just the typical food, football, family, friends, all that fun stuff. So hope you guys had a great one. I generally like the holidays more as I get older. I was, you know, it's kind of, I used to not like the holidays, bunch of, you know, inner demons and, you know, just general malaise and bullshit, depression, anxiety, the whole gamut of, you know, mental shortcomings. But anyway, I don't want to say shortcomings, but just issues. And, you know, you get older, you get kind of more mellow. You realize a lot of the stuff that you're kind of bothered you. It's just so stupid. You're just a big, huge fat Karen for no reason. By the way, you better go on a diet and lose weight before you have a massive heart attack. Note to self, asking for a friend. Yeah, CRISPR is doing quite. CRISPR is so undervalued. I mean, the CEO was talking about this should be $160 stock. I remember like 3 years ago. I mean, their pipeline, the cardiovascular alone, this be worth billions and billions and billions of dollars. Look at what Vertex, I think, is going to look to buy out CRISPR, or at least partner with them on their future pipeline in some capacity. And, you know, they make a ton of free cash, but it's a lot of legacy drugs and it's concentrated in, you know, one certain space. So I think they need CRISPR more than CRISPR needs them, to be quite honest with you, because I think a great number of pharma companies are going to come knocking on the door with CRISPR. But yeah, thanks for the tip. Let's take a look at it, guys. I'm just jumping all around. As per usual, I have no plan for this show. Look, Mom, no plans. But anyway, so yeah, CRISPR is holding up quite well. Only, you know, especially for like a pre-profit sort of, you know, growth stock, tech stock, high tech name, high flyer, high spec, tiny wing, you know, risk reward, live hard, play hard, living my best life type of bullshit. Yeah. So it's just hanging around 53. Algo held the shorts and algos have been all over CRISPR, huge short on CRISPR. And I'll go into that, guys, but IOVA right now is one of my strongest buys. I mean, they just turned in, the more people I talk to about that lung cancer data And I know it's a small sample, but management really expects these things to hold up because the technology is there and the science is there and they know how exactly it works and they know it should. The challenge is adoption. The challenge is the production. The challenge is not the science. You know, the FDA is hot for the science for lung cancer, you know, for all these other, you know, cancers that they're in phase 2s and I think a couple of phase 3s. I mean, they've got like 15 clinical trials running already, for God's sake. For a small, I'm talking IOVA, not CRISPR right now. Sorry, guys, that's very confusing. But look at the live short interest on IOVA for a moment, if you would. Wish I may, wish I might. Live short interest to the free float, 39% now. 39% with really good data just dropping. You know, margins vastly improved on the last ER, expenses coming down in line with their plan. Everything really, I think, you know, but the ramp of their, you know, therapy for melanoma is not as fast as they like, but it's still, you know, they're looking at the guidance 250 to 300 revenue this year. I mean, they're looking at mature US sales of $1 billion very conservatively. So at that time, if they're able to achieve that, you think, you know, the company should be worth probably 6 times to even 10 times mature sales. It just depends how you know, because this is an innovative, very innovative, cutting edge cancer drug that has potential worldwide. So you're going to get a better multiple than, you know, something that's a little bit more boring, like, you know, a medical device to hold up your sagging balls, you know, something along those lines, like a neoprene ball support sleeve for elderly gentlemen with saggy balls and tiny wangs, such as yourself. But yeah, 39%. It's crazy. It's absolutely, I mean, it's not crazy because they're weak. Yeah. So, oh, thank you, the great Nautilurk. By the way, happy Thanksgiving, Nautilurker. Great J Money. I think I forgot to get. I've been so scatterbrained, guys. I can't concentrate or think on the best of days, even like when I was younger and a little bit more intelligent and presentable. Not quite so, you know, hacksaw Jim Duggan mixed with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man type of situation that I'm working with at present. But anyway, yeah, so 40%, almost going on 40% of the free flow, and that's very, very aggressive. Now you think, okay, must be 20% institutional ownership on this bad boy. No, there's actually 60% institutional ownership, favorable put call ratio, 70%, 71% short squeeze score, according to Fintel. You got JP Morgan. I mean, in third quarter, they reduced their share count by 1.5%. JP Morgan, you know, they own 1.2 million shares at an average cost of $25. You can buy in right now at less than a tenth of that cost. I mean, again, we went over this yesterday. BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, Palo Alto, Geode, Goldman Sachs absolutely loading the boat. 38% increase at 8. These guys all bought in at double the price. Only a few smart players are in, you know, at reasonable prices. Bank of America, I mean, they're one of the most successful. Bank of America increased by 55%. Their average cost is still $4.29. So you can buy, you know, $2 less. But it's not all. I personally think there could be a catalyst. There could be a buyout. Anything can happen with IOVA, and this short squeeze will be epic. It'll make you know, playing pocket pool look like a day at the races. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? So anyway, I'm not saying buy IOVA. You can see my hat says NAFAFEPO, not financial advice for entertainment purposes only. Of course, it also says buy SoFi. So, you know, a little bit of a mixed message, if you know what I mean. A little angel and double situation, a little, you know, mum's the word, little, you know, maybe you do, maybe you don't. A little 6 of one, half dozen the other, a little pig and a poke. Anyway, I have no idea what I'm talking about. But so what are you guys doing? What are you buying? The prosthetic gonad market is hot. Hey, that's pretty funny. I love the prosthetic gonad. I have two, but one's one's not a factor. Missized, much far different sizes. Just bought 10 shares. Fudge, CRISPR short. Let's take a look for you. What do we got going on with CRISPR? Have it up there. We got CRISPR Therapeutics. Let's take us a look at the short. There's a big rumor, that they're going to take it private at a big premium. So 25% of the free float, a bit of an increase today. And cost to borrow is still quite low. Utilization high. Shares on loan, not much higher than the short interest. So it doesn't look like they're really, attacking from here. And the stock has held up pretty well around the 50 area. It was much, much lower than that not long ago. So I guess you would say, silver linings, some type of a Jennifer Lawrence situation. Bradley Cooper is just too intense for me. Not like he has like a sort of a Tom Cruise uncomfortable intensity, but he hides it better. He's like, yeah. But you could tell he's just ready to absolutely, lose his goddamn mind at any given instant. Yeah, I'm totally chill, man. I'm totally chill. No, you're not. You're absolutely not. You're into some weird method stuff. I don't know. A lot of these actors are crazy. Real intense ones. Let's see. So yeah, big short there on CRISPR. RXRX, CRISPR, the prosthetic gonad partnership should be announced by February. Sam said September. Tugs for the tugboat. LOL. Side dish, but everything else was solid. My girlfriend's made a mayo salad. Yeah, there's too much goddamn. Americans love mayo. And enough with the sushi. It's too much mayo on everything. Some snow cone roll. You take the imitation crab, that's half mayo. Then you got a spicy mayo on top and some other mayo snow cone. It's inedible. There's no seafood. That langostino is lost in a tsunami of disgusting Kewpie mayonnaise. It's too much. It's too much mayo in the cheap sushi and even some of the expensive sushi. I mean, yeah, I like to eat gas station sushi as much as the next guy, but it's too much. It's like 90% mayonnaise. I'm fat already. Stop with all the mayo. Spring for a little seafood there, Aunt B. Get Clara Barton on the line and fucking order up some fresh fish. Put the best foods down, or the Hellmans, if you will. If you like a little callback to that earlier bit, that shitty bit I was doing. Oh, this show's terrible. Anyway, what are you gonna do, right? All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind mayo on a turkey sandwich or something, but I don't need 5 gallons of it on everything. Oh, what is this? It's nice, fresh, delicious fish. Let's drown it in 8 gallons of mayonnaise at a point you can't even taste anything. Don't even get me started on these all-you-can-eat sushi clowns. I'm tired of these guys. They're a little bait and switch, this category, that category. Hey, let's confuse the fat guy with a bunch of, strange categories, and he'll accidentally order a side salad. He won't be able to order the one good dish on the menu. Then he'll have to order a bunch of add-ons. The $30 all-you-can-eat quickly becomes $150 worth of, custom orders. Chicken and veggies, not a worker. God bless this kid. Oh, he's a gritty kid from the streets of the south side of Boston. That's where he lost his hair. Razor fight with some Westies. Oh, it's a gutsy kid, though. Gutsy kid. Oh, that's some more bits I can do about not a lurker. They're all stupid. I'll center on the fact that he's bald, gutsy, whatever. No, come on. I know I do that working when I was cooking in restaurants because it's cheaper than butter. But yeah, it works well. But yeah, I don't know. It's just that crisp it gets with the mayo. It's just not for me. That hard brown crisp. I like the nooks and crannies you get with butter. It's a little more black and it's a little more unpredictable. The mayo goes on so that you almost get a nice thin film with the mayo, so you get that nice even brown. You know. Ooh, bro. No, but yeah, I don't use mayo for my grilled cheese. What am I, some kind of a knuckle dragger? Am I living in a trailer park? Am I buying all my groceries at Walmart? You'd be surprised. Well, the Walmart has a real juicy steak, just as good as a Costco, and you don't even need a membership. Why are you blinking so much? I don't know. I am such an idiot. I just think of these people like I don't like, Costco people think they're so much better than Walmart people because they wait in line for gas for like an hour to save $1, even though they make like way more money. Just makes no sense. Place no value on their time. Yeah, and then you got to move your SUV like 40 times in the gas line. You dumb fuck. You should not wait half an hour for gas. There's 50 other gas stations, like 3 more cents, 4 more cents. Get a life. Spend some time with your loved ones. It's bad enough you're in there waiting for Costco to open. You got like one kid. You don't even need a fucking pallet of anything. Oh, I need a pallet of fusilli pasta. No, you don't. You don't. You're not going to eat all that shit. You're not going to use it all. That toilet paper is going to last you a year. And COVID doesn't even give you diarrhea. What are you buying all the toilet paper for? If you have to go to the hospital, they're going to have toilet paper. They're going to take care of it. Get a bedpan for you. I don't get people. Hey, honey, buy more toilet paper. Well, the other people need to wipe their ass too. Buy it all. Oh, fuck, dear. You're a miserable prick. I love Costco too, J Money. We all love Costco. And I hate Walmart. So I guess I'm an elitist son of a bitch. But it's not because I have any more money than anybody else. I just like walking through Costco, the big, go inside like the refrigerated room. It's just fun. I mean, Walmart's got a lot of crazy shit too. Tweakers, fat people of Walmart. That's a good site. Anyway, I guess I'm just blabbering on about nothing, so I don't have to look at all my stocks just shitting the bed. What's prop doing? God knows. 178, just down 8 cents. No reason. I got to buy more of that. Neo deliveries were a bit disappointing this month. I guess like 36.5. They're going with, they don't want to sell as many cars at worse margins. They'd rather sell, more of the vehicles that are making better margins and cut costs and run a much leaner operation than just try to move every unit they can, which I don't know. That might just be sort of a bullshit rationalization for there's not, as much. I think there's plenty of demand for the ES8 and like L90, but I think they're wasting too much production capacity on other, vehicles that people just don't have the demand for at the present time. So I'd like to see all hands on deck, just produce more units of less SKUs and try to, give the people what they want, for lack of a better term. But, I think Neo is honestly on the right track. Margins improved a lot. There's a lot of demand for what they're doing. Their battery swap network is really crushing it in terms of in-house. I mean, almost every single person who buys a Neo or Envo is using the hell out of the swap network. And I think once Firefly becomes available with some future models and the Swap 5.0, I think they'll use that one. The Firefly can't even swap for all intents and purposes. I mean, it has the ability, it has the functionality, but it's an orphan. It has no swap network. The Stork dropped it in the Middle of a Jersey Shore episode or something. It's the type of parentals it was blessed with. Luton, Low Country Luton Pond. Yeah, let's take a look. SMCI was actually holding up pretty well last I checked. Yeah, it's dipped a little bit, similar to SoFi. I did this little pushed way up and then did this little double dipsy do. So it tested, went under here 33.50 and then it's doing the same thing again. So I'm not at all worried about SMCI. Volume is relatively low. So they're just playing everybody on this one. It's people like, oh, this one's, so hard to predict. It's like, no, it's not. They pump it up near 60 repeatedly, push it back down into the 20s, low 30s repeatedly, rinse, repeat. They do this over and over again. And they can use any, justification, to send it up. They can use any justifications. They could look at the last ER and they could say, well, guidance is incredible for the year, and so the stock should go up. But they didn't choose to frame it that way. They chose to say this quarter was really bad, and we don't believe the guidance, and we think management has tiny wings, and we don't understand how the wigger still has a job. I don't understand how they can't hire a CFO in a year, over a year. Like, does nobody want to work there? Do they not want to pay a decent salary? I was looking at some of the salaries SMCI is offering. They're pretty goddamn low, pretty abysmal. Like, is this SMCI or Subway? Know what I mean? Know what I mean? J Money is here. Jay Scofi. Noto doesn't have a tiny wing. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. The man's an All-American, but he's not part of my audience either. He might be lurking. But he's definitely not lurking like the rest of you. Ready to pounce with your tiny wing. Buy the dip. Hey guys, can I buy the dip if I have a tiny wing? Oh, sure. Come on in. Water's fine. Anyway, guys. What's up, Bobby Joe? I'm a little late, but mayo is just protein vinaigrette. Yeah, mayo is gross, man. It's so gross. It's just too much. I mean, strategically placed in small quantities, mayo is good. I mean, I like potato salad, but it's not loaded with mayo. I like my potato salad more vinegar tang, if you know what I mean. What is that German potato salad? It's like hot bacon fat or something. Leave it to the Germans. We don't do mayo. Anyway. What the hell else is going on? No. We all can agree, Pop is very well endowed. There's no question. A bunch of little pumpers and worshipers that we are. U-turders, hapless U-turders. No, we shouldn't make all this this entire program only about penis size. Just 90%. Noda's probably watching your show. That's funny. Good one, M Russo 215. How's the real estate biz? Let's see. I think you're in real estate. Am I right? Yeah. So super micro holding up under moderate volume. Really nothing to see here. I mean, it's very low for what it is, but yeah, Bitcoin sort of, what's Bitcoin doing? Just because kind of that's a good bellwether for crypto. So it's, they're basically pushing it down. I view this, they know that, the Robinhood crew, the broke tiny wing all-stars are going to get liquidated and, margin called and such. So I think they can look at the math and understand where people are going to get washed out and where they have to take this thing to buy, Bitcoin up as cheap as possible, because it's not lost on like the folks at MicroStrategy and BMNR that buying these coins from, whether by hook or by crook, from retail at the lowest price possible is in their best interest, even though like retail makes up probably the majority of BMNR shareholders. At least they used to. Now I know everybody was, the great Tevis. I have the Tevis. Where's my Tevis? The Tevis 3000 2.0. We have to be disruptive. We do have to be disruptive, Tevis. Thank you for that. Let's take that offline. let's take that offline. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's Tevis has teams, and he definitely is probably the greatest corporate speak jargon guy of anyone on YouTube. So
let's circle back to that.
I developed the proprietary algorithm with the Tevis 3.0, 2.0, or Tevis 3000 2.0. I don't know.
Let's really drill down on this.
Yes, let's really drill down on this, Tevis. But anyway, no, I love Tevis. He's hilarious. He is kind of morphing from a young Elvis into a young Rosie O'Donnell before our eyes. But other than that, just outstanding commentator, stock picker, U-turder. What's going on, guys? Canadian stock mafia gonna get, yeah. I mean, you know, I don't want to say those guys don't have a clue, but it's just like, you know, just because that Tom Lee looks cool and he looks kind of like alternative and nerdy, he looks like he should be, you know, hosting a room at, you know, some sort of annex at Comic-Con. It doesn't necessarily mean you just buy anything the guy's selling. And it also doesn't mean you can buy it at any price. It's like, hey, I'm buying heavily at 60. Everybody should be buying this thing, you know, because once they reach 5% of Ethereum, you know, everybody's going to get an extra, you know, half inch added onto their penis size when they measure. They're going to get right down to that pubic bone, not get hung up on any fat gun tissues and such. I mean, you just can't make promises like that. It's not how the world works, guys. Tom Lee's not the tooth fairy. He's not your mother. And also, I don't think Tom Lee is any expert on like crypto or blockchain, or he says a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't know what his background is, but I don't know. Is he like, you know, is he like a code guy? Is he at that level of brain power? He seems like a very intelligent guy. I just don't know if he, you know, if you believe in, you know, Ethereum at that level, that's the reason you should be buying that, unless it's for a trade, you know, unless it's for some kind of a, you know, momentum Fugazi playbook type of situation, a little, you know, tiny wang hut run up the middle, if you know what I mean. Little prairie dog in the old burrow, if you know what I'm saying. Little beer in the koozie, you know what I mean. I think you do. So yeah, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but yeah, I mean, I don't have any, like, absolutely no ill will Canadian. I mean, I said plenty of stocks, UBX, GMDA, those, I was recommending those stocks. They went bankrupt, you know, so who the fuck am I? People pick winners and losers. It's easy to get caught up in things. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement. Everybody's talking about something. You want to buy it. I'm like, I told you not to buy it. I'm buying, you know, I was nibbling around 30, under 30. It's not that I don't own crypto. It's just I'm careful where I buy it, because I know nothing goes up forever. Everything goes up and down. I don't care if it's Tesla, Palantir, Robinhood, CrowdStrike, you know, whatever. Everything has ups and downs. It doesn't matter what the asset is. You have to be careful where you buy it. You have to be careful what you pay. And I don't frankly like to buy things that I cannot place a logical, analytical valuation on with math, some kind of math. Now, I know with growth stocks and, you know, pre-profit stocks, and God forbid pre-revenue stocks, if you're foolish enough to invest in some of those guys, you know, it's definitely more art than science. It's definitely more fat than lean. It's definitely, you know, more Joko, less Poco. It's definitely more Stubby Cohiba, less Stock Karen. It's definitely, you know, more cornbread, less tugboat. It's definitely more MC Al Dente, less TJ Patchy Drizzle. I've no... None of this makes any sense, guys. That's we're like, there's one guy on here. I forget. I remember his name was Mo, because I was just doing a stock Mo bit. But he's like, stop with all the idiotic nonsense and get to the point. It's all idiotic nonsense. My entire persona, my entire fabric of my being is idiotic nonsense. That's my stock and trade. It's what I do. If you take away the idiotic nonsense, there's nothing left. The emperor is fat and he has no clothes. Oh my God. J Money is so damn healthy. It's making me angry. I wish I could afford to move J Money and family to the West Coast just to become my life coach. I wish I had that kind of scratch. This guy's eating a freaking, that looks like a, yeah, I love Kebab Shop, J Money. I love Kebab Shop. Yeah, that looks really good, man. Really good. Oh, Homer want donut. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyone else want to talk about anything else? Let's see, guys. No, but seriously, I love the Canadian fintech mafia, and they're very smart guys. But like I said, even the smartest person can rush in. You know, it's not only fools who rush in. Sometimes it's highly educated, highly intelligent, professional financial people who rush in and get caught up. And quite frankly, they might do great on the shares they bought at 60 eventually, because I think they're long-term intelligent guys. And with these swings, you know, it went from 60 to 30 quite quickly, and it could go from 30 to 90 quite quickly. So, you know, judge not lest ye be judged, you tiny wing butterface turd. Oh my God, who knows? You know, I don't. Who knows what's going to happen with BMNR? It's such a wild card. You know, it's such a bucking bronco. You just don't know. But it's back under 30, down 10%. I think it was down like 13% at one point. Yeah, the days range is out all the way down under 29, so it's actually ripping. No, it's not. It's sucking. Yeah, prop sucking, IOVA sucking, CRSP no good. 10x no good. Basically everything I own is crashing. SMCI doing well. I did mention Home Depot was a really nice defensive play the other day, and it's gone up considerably since. I would argue probably Walmart, you know, fits that mold as well, because Walmart is, you know, price sensitive shoppers are going to, you know, continue to go to Walmart. If the economy, you know, deteriorates, I think Walmart will still be doing quite well, probably even better than Home Depot, because those purchases at Home Depot are far more discretionary. I would, you know, submit. It's not a controversial. So I was going to say I would argue. It's not really an argument. You're gonna, you know, you have to buy diapers and food and formula and different stuff like that a lot more than you have to do like a home improvement project, or, you know, purchase new appliances or something along those lines, or some mulch. Honey, we just can't do without more mulch. We bought mulch last weekend, you freak. You just want to go, you know, sift through the power tool department to buy some battery powered tool you're never going to use to compensate for your tiny wings, sweetheart. You cut me to the quick, dear. You know me too well. Wait. What else do we have? Little sound effects. Let's see if Tevis has anything to add.
I'm at capacity.
Oh, Tevis is at capacity. Can't help us right now.
That's a no-brainer.
That is a no-brainer, Tevis. Thank you. It's great we could have Tevis on. Brings a Canadian flair. But of course, it's not the actual live Tevis. It's not even Rosie O'Donnell. It's the Tevis 3000 2.0.
What would be the key learnings here?
I don't know, Tevis. You tell us what the key learnings are. Anyway, guys, so I don't know if anybody's watching this piece of crap show, but bottom line, crypto is just getting kicked right in the balls, as many of you are. Quality's holding. You should always buy quality, but especially when you smell, you know, trouble on the horizon. What is it, girl? Timmy fell down a well? You know, if you think, you know, see Lassie coming, you think Timmy might have fallen down a well. It's not the time to be holding a bunch of Bitminer and cryptos and, you know, Shiba Inus and whatever else, Doge. It's just because these assets, you're like, okay, you want something with free cash flow, something profitable, something that's going to weather a storm, something, you know, built to last, you know, to pair a bunch of Grateful Dead songs, built to last. Pretty good record. But this stuff, you can't even really, how do you put a valuation on this other than through price action, demand, scarcity, future updates, use case. It's all completely subjective, and I don't want to say worthless, but you know, the value of Ethereum is what a dreamer says it is, or what a futurist, or what a, Dionne Warwick says it is. But in a practical here and now, in a bloody economy, in a recession, it's going to have very little to no value because nobody's going to care about, its future use cases on the blockchain. And they'd rather see Jenny from the block, in my opinion. People are like, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. You're right. Congratulations. Gold star for you. You cut me to the quick, you tiny wang audience. Good to see you too, Quezzy B. E1019. Excellent. Like Tevin loses me money. Like I lose you money on everything, Don't listen to you turders though. No, Tevis very smart guy. All those guys are. Tanner, smart guy. Roy, very smart guy. Deadliest Catch Chris, very smart guy. Steve, very smart guy. I mean, got a few question marks in there. No, Amit's super smart too. I mean, being smart doesn't really mean anything either. Sometimes you can outsmart yourself. Sometimes it's better to think about things a little bit more simply, like a fat American. A little TV dinner and some stocks. A hungry man dinner. What's your guys' favorite TV dinner? I don't really like any of them, but I think Marie calendars are pretty decent. Like that, I don't know. I hate to even say these around Nautilus because I don't eat any TV dinners, but back in the day when I was broke and had no time and was working a lot, I occasionally eat them. I mean, I'm not one to eat one of those black label hungry mans with those fake ribs in them or anything. Not one to eat the Thanksgiving feast. Not one to pull out a 99-cent Swedish meatball times 2. Definitely not. Not one to indulge in a couple of pizza pockets at my morning break. Certainly not on my agenda. Pizza pockets. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. At least have a hot pocket, little ham and cheese, like a grown-up, like a grown-ass man. I don't have no pizza pocket. I'm having a hot pocket. Grown-ass man. Like it's so much better to have a ham and cheese in a pizza pocket. Just makes me feel like an adult. Having my water in a champagne glass makes me feel so grown up. Oh, stupid. But here's the question: the meat or the veggie? Because I like that veggie with that white sauce. It's like a round table pizza. They got the Guinevere's Garden Delight. Or maybe the Italian Garlic Supreme. That's another great question for a poll my audience. Pull my finger. What's your favorite pizza at Round Table? Your favorite specialty pizza? If you're like me and used to work at Round Table. I don't know if I ever officially worked at Round Table, but certainly spent a lot of time there eating free food. Yeah, that's a tough one. King Arthur Supreme. I'm ashamed to say I know the whole menu. I have to say, I think the Italian Garlic Supreme is going to be my number one, but the Guinevere's Garden Delight. I mean, I'm not a big, vegetarian guy. It's an excellent pizza. For you guys who are here for stocks, sorry, I don't want to talk about stocks. They're going down. 10x, yeah, trying to hold 9 there. Robinhood, yeah, down about 4 points. You got Tweakmart up a point. CRSP now down 2, getting hit pretty hard. I would definitely buy CRSP myself anywhere under 50. I think it's really a screaming buy there. Bitcoin, yeah, everything just kind of falling off again. It doesn't look like NASDAQ's really crashing or anything. And just, this is these stocks and, that they really play retail and play on the emotions and play on the stops and, play on your heartstrings. But Home Depot's fallen too. So I don't know what just happened. Maybe some bad data just hit or something. I don't know. Maybe everybody got a tape measure and realized they had a tiny wing. I thought they were doing all right. Palantir, yeah, down just less than a point. SoFi, what's the old SoFi doing? SoFi, Glowfly, Blowfly. Stick a needle in my eye. Yeah, they're trying to push it back down under 29, which they will probably be able to do because volume is a little bit weak here. I don't know what time it is. Yeah, 4 minutes left. So yeah, volume a little bit weaker than it has been recently, but to me, holding, if the stock can hold around 29 on a day like today, where everything's real choppy and everything's real uncertain. It's a Monday, volume's weak, post holiday. This is very typical. They had that, pump and dump at open, and it's sort of, double hump, a sort of mountain and, douche pattern, sort of John Denver situation, Rocky Mountain High, peaked right in the middle, and just sort of a nice slow burn, nice slow pump and dump, little pea soup in your pajamas, if you know what I mean. Little grasshopper in the chonies. We've all been there though. So micro strategy, micro strategy is pretty much what you're working with downstairs, if you know what I mean. South of the equator, playing a little small ball, little Mike Gallegos special. You turn on a double play between Mike Gallegos and Glenn Hubbard, little Stubby hubby to Mike Gallegos. It might be the ugliest double play in baseball, but I'll tell you, it's an efficient double play. Neither one of those men above 5'2". Oh, nothing like a little 1980s Oakland A's middle infield chatter, if you know what I mean. Get the old juices flowing. It's like the only place we could afford to go. You get Oakland A's tickets for like $4. Oh man. Anyway, what's up, Harding Tutors? Yeah, what's MicroStrategy? I assume is tracking, Bitcoin to a large degree. What the hell's the symbol for MicroStrategy? I think I just pulled up like the German quote or something. Mega SG. Is that I think that's not I think I put the wrong strategy, but anyway, I don't own MicroStrategy, so I don't know the ticker symbol. Embarrassing. But anyway, it's down. I assume it's down like a similar amount to Bitcoin, or even a little bit more. Usually like Bitcoin's down, like it was down earlier, 8%. MicroStrategy was down like 9% or something. But yeah, let's smoke some hopium, Jimmy the Sausage King. You're specializing in small sausages, I know, those cocktail wieners. So I work the pickle market, but I work in gherkins. I'm working gherkins, so I'm working the small pickle market, much like you're working the micro sausage market. So we're basically brothers Seamus, if you know what I mean. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. I gotta get back to work. I don't know what the hell I was talking about with this stupid video. IOVA, I mean, whether it's 250 or 2, I don't think long term is really the point, but I think the price action is all about, like I said, scaring retail into needing a new pair of tidy whities and selling the dip and smelling the rip, because this is pretty aggressive 10-point move. But like I said, they are shorting the bejesus out of this thing. I think there's just a massive opportunity here, but I say that all the time, and vast majority of the time I'm completely wrong. So that's kind of that's the deal with penny stocks, though. It's like 9 out of 10 of them are going to absolutely crash and burn and crush you, and just hoping you hit a home run on that 10th one, but you usually don't. That 10th one's usually the complete dream crusher that makes you realize you have absolutely no hope, and your tiny wang was really a harbinger of things to come, a premonition. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got for right now. I really realized there was no point, no information, nothing useful there. But pretty much par for the course, pretty much my MO. Shout out to Mo, that guy who doesn't like me. Shout out to Stock Mo. I like Stock Mo. I'm just not a fan of all of his investment advice, but seems like a super nice guy. If you want a larger tiny wang, you just want to upgrade from a micro wang to a general tiny wang. I like IOVA and prop right now. I love 10x at 253. Now that jumped all the way up to 9. So I'm not going to, there's a lot of warrant overhang on 10x at 11 and 12. So I'm really not going to advise you to try to rush into the stock near 10. I'd like to see all that get resolved. It's less either come back down by 5, 6, or, wait for the warrants and stuff to get resolved and then buy a little bit later when we're closer to FDA approval. I don't know what to do with that one. There's tons. I own and look at tons and tons of penny stocks. I wouldn't say buy one because, like I say, you know, you have to own dozens of them because you're trying to hit a home run. And if you own 50, probably 3 or 4 might be those home runs, or maybe 2, 3 or 4 if you're lucky, and then the other 46 you're going to lose all your money. So it's like, you know, it's just foolish to be in penny stocks and these little biotech plays. It's you know, most of them crash and burn. It's just story of my life, guys. Story of my life. Social Distortion said. Anyway, guys, Beat Nursery, thanks a lot. Scott, J Money, the Great Naughty Lurker, Jimmy the Sausage King, the rest of you guys, Harding Tutors, Tortuga del Rio, big number 2, Bobby Joe, the Great Bobby Joe. Of course, we got Jay Scofi, Quezzy B. We got Great Michael Anthony, DLO. This guy loves DLO. You guys should all look at DLO. Michael Anthony loves it, and he's a good kid. Likes Bobby Hill. Got Scott, the Raider fan. Thanks, Scott. Naughty Lurker, the greatest of the great, the greatest wrench in all of Utah, the great Naughty Lurker. Thank you, sir. Got the great M. Russo selling some high-end real estate, I hope. We got, who else? Low Country Loot and Pawn. Obviously, one of our best physicians we have here on the program. We got Bobby Joe. We already said hello. The great third leg Oleg Alexandrov. Love the rants. At least I can laugh. Yeah. What else can we do? You got to laugh, or you cry, or you do a little bit of both. My blood pressure. No, my blood pressure is perfect. It's like low part of normal. So I'm an unusually healthy fat guy. I'm very active and stuff. So I'm not. It's a little bit like, you know. You ever seen a guy who's like 330 pounds win a 3-set tennis match against like a former college player? I've done that. You know, so yeah, I'm a weird guy. My blood pressure's not high. I'm just fat. I'm a big fat fuck. What are you gonna do? What's up, the great Carl Seamark? Cauliflower cheese. Don't come to me with cauliflower cheese is what the kids used to call me on account of the back of my thighs. They'd say, "Hey, there goes Danny Cauliflower Cheese. Got enough cellulite to buy as a cauliflower cheese factory." I don't know. No, I fuck cauliflower cheese. I'll never eat that. I'd rather die fat of a heart attack eating a ribeye steak. SMCI, yeah, we talked about Carl Seamark, Jason Watkins, great chess champion from the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer, Diamo Trader Boyko, 10x Harness, CRISPR Short Flow, we already did that. Jason Watkins, Potential Spatter was here. Thanks, Potential Spatter, DSCX KT9. Thank you, the great Amelia Aguilera. Thank you, Emilio, Carl Seamark, Guillaume Trim, Boyko, Not a Lurker, Clap My Dog, MT Mix, the great Clap My Dog. Thanks for joining us, Clap My Dog. Always a great supporter of the channel. We certainly appreciate you. And I think that's about it, guys. I don't know if anybody else was here and I missed you. The great Alex 1ZLP. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello, Alex. Hello and welcome. Anybody else? M2 Munich, Flint Creek Soap Company was here. Welcome and hello, Flint Creek Soap Company, guys. Surf on over to the website there, Flint Creek Soap Company, and buy you something. All right, guys, that's about all I've got. It's un Poco Mas. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Sorry the show was such an abysmal train wreck, but, you know, you get what you get. You order un Poco Mas, you get un Poco Mas. You know, you get the bowl, you get the horns, you get the board of the balls, you get the taint, you get the smell, you get everything, you get the mush. Guys, thanks. Appreciate it. Un Poco Mas. Horrible program. Horrible.